Hello, my name is Kim Sauer at Productronica 2015. I am joined today by Bob Black from Juki and Matteo Padoan from Essegi. Now, walking around the show, there are lots of signs pointing towards the big theme and the big discussions that are going on in the industry, which is Industry 4.0, or other countries call it IoT, big data, and there's lots and lots of names for it. So it's clearly something that is of interest for everybody, but everybody's got a different understanding or interpretation of it. So let's just start about what you understand of Industry 4.0 and how it fits in with what you offer.
Okay. Well, I think the Europeans have done a good job of, getting a catchphrase and putting it out there. But on the way here today, I walked by a bench manufacturer, and they had Industry 4.0 signs all over the booth. And I wondered really how much valid communication you could have with a workbench back and forth, but okay, they seem to be happy. So I think there's the marketing buzz side, and then there's a practical, what really are we talking about? And I think for the customer, what we're talking about is better control and better information from their production and manufacturing process. So for us, that means that the customer wants to know what we're doing, when we're doing it, are things in the parameters in the process zone, are any mistakes being made. They want a better monitoring and better data from the manufacturing process, and they expect every manufacturer of every piece of their line to be able to hook up to that and give them the data they need. And certainly that's a big challenge for all equipment manufacturers.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And Matteo, for you as a storage solutions provider, is that a similar approach or a similar understanding to Industry 4.0?
Yeah, absolutely yes, because every time we are going to approach a customer, so we are going to try to offer what we call our solutions. One of the first barrier that we find is that we have to be able to provide them also a solution about interfacing our solutions to all other solutions that they have in their own existing factory. And this is one of the key points, I think, not only for our equipment, but for all manufacturer equipment. Because, right now, if you go on a production floor, you will see storage solution, you will see printer machine, you will see SPI, you will see pick and place, you will see AOI, you will see fine probe. So we see a bunch of machines, and every single machine is working with different software. So there's no doubt that for operators that are working in those areas, okay, it's becoming pretty difficult to be able to handle different kind of software that require different kind of data. So one of the key points it should be being able to somehow simplify everything for the operator. So in my point of view, this should be the starting point for the Industry 4.0, because as Bob says, I've seen as well many of these Industry 4.0 in some hardware equipment that I can really not understand clearly how they can think to have this Industry 4.0 in hardware if they are not going to make that on software side.
Mm-hmm. Well, eventually I think it's going to be something that has the touch points across the whole of the supply chain, but specifically what I find very interesting, it fosters relationships between companies. There's a lot of discussion now going on between machine vendors, solutions providers, software providers, and maybe partnerships that are occurring that previously without this end goal of having the smart factory that might not have taken place. And now you're a prime example of that sort of a cooperation or partnership. Tell me what your need was initially, and what you went out looking for, and then how the partnership with Essegi came about.
Well, actually, it came about from one of our customers in Silicon Valley, California, a company called Rocket EMS. And Rocket EMS is an EMS company, of course, but they're a little bit unique. They do NPI, fast turn prototype builds, and so the average lot size may be only 5 boards. So they are changing each line over about 7 times per shift. And these are not simple products. Some of them are boards from companies like Intel, where they may have 7,000 to 8,000 placements. They may have 1,500 different values on a single board. So this is changing a tremendous amount of reels and a tremendous amount of feeders in a very short time. And they had just a group of 20 to 30 people picking reels out of the warehouse and putting reels back. And I was with the owner I've known for about 15 years, and he told me, Bob, I wish there was some way I could automate this. We looked at vertical carousels, but that just means the people are lined up at a bin trying to pick the reels out of there. So at that time I decided maybe I should look for something that would help, and that ultimately led me to Storage Solutions and to Matteo. And we had our first meeting. He drove up from Venice, and I came down from Solothurn, Switzerland, and we met in Lugano. Actually, we had lunch, a very nice lunch in the restaurant in the casino of Lugano, looking over the lake. And 3 hours later, we shook hands, and that was the start of our partnership.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. And there must have been quite a few challenges along the way. And Matteo, you've talked about it, that there are so many machine vendors and storage software solutions providers that each have their proprietary software. So actually communication between and interfacing between all these touch points must bring some challenges. So how do you deal with those, and how did you develop that sort of interface with Juki machines?
Okay, so one of the main point at the beginning was not being able to develop an interface. An interface is pretty easy to develop. Yeah. One of the biggest points is finding the compromise from both parties and find the reason why both parties should be develop an interface. And this is what happened at the beginning. So when we start to work with Juki, one of the first point was how we can communicate together. How can Juki communicate with our storage solution? So we were partners, so it was pretty easy to develop this communication together. But then we start to think, okay, we have also not only Juki customer, okay, we do not have only Cogiscan customer, we have Valor customer that are using Valor, customers that are using Panasonic, customers are using other brands. So at the beginning we were trying to approach this brand to see if there would be the possibility to develop some interface together, but this did not happen because they were, competitors from us. But then the situation changed because these requests did not come out anymore from us, but from customer side. So right now the situation is completely changed. Now it's our customer that are requesting that the manufacturer are making the interface. Doesn't matter if they are competing each other. Customers are requesting that the different solutions have to talk each other. So that's the key point. It's now customer requesting that, so it's the market that is requesting that. So now it's much more easier to start to work with.
And when you have a new product, first you have to validate that there will be a market for this product, and customers accept that there's a market for the product. And today, 2 years later, it's a total different picture, as Matteo said from before. And also Juki's philosophy is different. Look, we're in a competitive business. You have a couple of our competitors on the wall behind us here that sell a lot of machines, as do we. So we took a different approach at Juki. I don't sell this product only to Juki customers. If a Fuji customer, an ASM customer, a Panasonic customer would like these machines, it's our responsibility to be able to communicate with the software they're using and give them the functionality of the machine. And we've worked together with Essegi and also with Cogiscan to provide software links to the major software of our competitors. And a lot of them are not in this business, so some of them may soon be in the business, but that just validates more that this automated storage and retrieval and tracking and control system is something that's needed and something that's seen as valid in the market, and it's going to be a big part of 4.0 because the logistics part of your factory is just as complex as your assembly part. So, I had a meeting this morning with Aegis. They are very close to having their interface with the Essegi product. I met with Valor the other day. They're doing the same. I talked to the Siemens people here in Germany. So we're going to take an open source. I mean, what we do at Juki is I never tell the customer, you should use this software, you should use that software. The customer may have Valor, he may have Siemens, he may have Aegis, he may have his own that their corporation has written. It's my responsibility as his vendor to make my product accessible to his software and to be able to be compatible and to hook up. And so I think being open to that is important if you're going to be successful in this, because I believe our customer needs to make the decision what software do they need and what runs well in their system. And it's my responsibility to see that our machines respond to that and are usable for him.
Mm-hmm. So do you think actually that approach is the only approach to be applied to an Industry 4.0 scenario where really it goes across the entire supply chain, right from materials management through to the end customer, and actually looping back again with that whole traceability theme in place? So being actually quite restrictive isn't going to be the solution for the future.
Yeah, I think ultimately, of course, choice is going to win, right? There will be no software company which dominates the world market, and there will be no hardware company which dominates the world market. People will pick and choose, or as I say frequently, some people like Ford, some people like Chevrolet. But I think our approach is already paying dividends. If we're a solutions company at Juki. I mean, we've come from the placement side, but now we sell printers, we sell ovens, we sell the storage solutions product, we sell interfaces. If a customer can get value from the storage solutions, I want to sell it to him, and I want to support it and service it. And if that's all I can sell him, that's fine. The customer will make his own decision.
Okay. And Matteo, what does it mean for your company to have such great cooperations and partnerships for the future of your business?
Yeah, it means having the right inputs to go ahead to develop our products, taking account the different needs of Juki customers. And as you know, I mean, they have a quite big network all around the world. So there's no doubt that this partnership together gives to us the right energy and the right power to move forward and to come out after just 4 years with a new product that once again is changing a little bit the rules of the market.
Mm-hmm. Excellent, and you've both been very active here at the show together, showing the solutions at the Juki stand as well. So, what's been the feedback here at the show for you?
Extremely positive. Actually, Matteo the other day had a customer come in from Russia. Who had already written a handwritten purchase order to one of the competitive towers in the show. And after Matteo's presentation, he went back, asked for it back, tore it up, and came down and placed an order in his stand. So I would say that's only one indication of how positive the show has been for us.
Mm-hmm. Matteo, for you?
Yeah,
what's your highlights?
I mean, absolutely, as Bob says. I mean, the feedback that we had is coming from the customers. So, customers are really exciting in seeing, again, new innovation, is seeing new possibility, to see that we actually did what they were asking, where they were already looking to our existing solutions. So, absolutely positive feedback coming out from this show.
Excellent. Well, Bob, Matteo, thank you very much for your time today, and great success for the future.
Thank you.
Thank you.